Well, hello, my Be Confident fam. I am coming at you today with a new video, but today we are filming it at my desk because this topic is quite important. You know, you just want to sit down, take some notes. I have just turned 30, if you don't already know, and although it may be faux pas to disclose your age in this industry, I don't really care. I feel great at 30 more than I ever have ever in life, and I never want to go back, but I have learned so much that as I continue to move forward in this decade, I just want to share some things that I've learned in my 20s and things that are helpful to know in your 20s to get to this point and feel great at this point and know that there's still more to come. So I wanted to share with you all just 10 things I've learned in my 20s. Simple laundry list of things. There's always more and there's always things in between. So I'll just try and keep it short and sweet, okay? But before we get into it, please hit that subscribe button down below. My Instagram is linked below. Put on the reminder bell thing. You will not be disappointed. We will be talking about everything in terms of dance, culture, life, just being brown, being not brown, just living life in general. So let's live it together and let's be confident, be radiant, and be 30. Okay, we're here. Let's get started. Number one, there's no such thing as a best friend. Anyone who knows me and is watching this knows that I have gone through the most girl breakups in probably like centuries. Maybe because I just befriend a lot of people and then I invest a lot of love and energy into them. And in my 20s, I really learned that you cannot expect everything from one person. It's like impossible to expect that from someone. No one person can fulfill you in that way. So no such thing as a best friend. Number two, it's important to figure out your passions coming out of college or even through college. Yes, college is there to party and make friends and all that stuff. Throughout that journey, just remember it's your journey. So whatever your parents tell you going into college in terms of you have to be a lawyer, you have to do this, you have to study finance so that you get a stable job. Those aren't your dreams and you aren't coming into college with an open mind. Really take that time to figure out what your passions are throughout college. That will lead to your happiness. Number three, make your passions into reality, okay? You're never too young to pursue your passions. And the reason why number two is so important before number three is because when you just are open to that journey of finding out what your passion is, you then start to provide yourself with the resources to make that possible. For instance, if I love dance, which I do, in college I took a yoga for dancers class and also a tabla class. These were elective classes that I just needed for credits, but I fell in love with yoga because of how much it helped me in dance. And then I fell in love with the tablas because of just how musically connected I felt to the beats that allowed me to dance. I also did an acting class, and not only till now am I actually acting on that. I fell in love with those things, but I didn't let them be my front and center. They were just my elective classes I did on the side, and I felt like I had to do all these other things. Making your passions and dreams into a reality doesn't mean to wait for someone to put your side passions up to the forefront. There isn't some magic fairy godmother that comes and gives you a big break like bibbidi bobbidi boom, you can live your passionate life. You have to create it for yourself. And I think that's finding what you're interested in, surrounding yourself with the people who are 10 years ahead of you, 5 years ahead of you, right getting started, and seeing what their path has been like. Is it something that interests you? Then continue down that path. And everything is one step at a time. So one meeting with somebody who's in there will lead to a mixer with a group of people, will then lead you to an event that have similar minded people there to share your common interests with and see if you want to pursue it more. Because when you find other people in their journey, it entices you or at least intrigues you enough to be like, I would love to be on that journey as well. Number four, networking matters. Okay, so we talked about surrounding yourself with the people who are pursuing your passions or are also interested in your passions. The next step is to build a network from that. When you go to a class, when you go to job interviews, when you go to recruiting events, anything, make a connection. Build a connection with the people around you. More oftentimes than not, when you build that connection, building a long-lasting first impression is what can get you through the door with anything. Ultimately, it does not matter what school you came from, what your GPA is even. Like, anyone can put a GPA on a resume. Like, it does not matter. What matters is who you know and what they can do for you. Actually, all of my jobs I've ever gotten in the corporate world has been through networking, through a connection that I've made in the past that has helped propel me to be in that interview process. When you make connections, it takes you so far. Number 5, budget and save more. I bring this up because I feel like I wasn't really given those soft or hard skills at a young age, so I truly suffered from not knowing how to budget and how to save. When you learn how to budget your money and save for tomorrow, it just builds your future. To be honest, no one wants to be broke and no one wants to be in debt, so take those accounting classes seriously and apply them to your own finances. This leads me to number 7. Build good credit. I mean, I'm not a finance channel, but get a credit card. As a brown person, my mom tried to prevent me from getting a credit card for so long. But honestly, if I got it at a younger age and started paying rent and paying my car, I could have built my credit so much more. Get a credit card. Number 8 is my favorite one. It's because I made a video about it before. Move out. I can't tell you or stress enough. Moving out is such not only a liberating feeling, but it teaches you so much about yourself that you will never know until you leave your comfort zone. It doesn't matter if you get a studio that's like 300 square feet and whatnot. It teaches you the value of earning, making a living, maintaining a certain way of life that is up to your standards and what you want. And so much of living at home is surrounded by the comfort that we get from it and the stability. But what is life if you're not shaking things up and if you're not lighting a fire under your ass to work hard to get the things that you want? During your 20s, it's so important to leave and get out, because the last thing you want is to be in your 30s and to have never lived outside of your house, outside of college, to then like get married and basically start living with this partner and not even know what you need in a home and what you need in terms of your space. So figure that out early on, because when you figure that out, you get to live a confident life. And when you're confident and secure in the things that you need, that is the most attractive thing to anyone. Number 9, and I'm gonna let you guys in on a very, very top secret here. Life will never be figured out. You hear this all the time from people, but you don't believe it because you're like, no, like when I'm in this age and then I have this in my career and I've achieved this and I've bought this, I will have it figured out. I will have it made. But once you even get there, then things shift, things change. You're never gonna want the same things. You're never gonna desire the same thing. You hope for different things, and hope equals desire plus trust. So when you hope in the sense that you just hope for more, it has to come with the desire for something specific, plus trusting that it will happen and you will manifest it. I think when you let go of this idea that life is gonna be figured out, there's so much less pressure. You get to just live in the present and let go of the fear of tomorrow and the anxiousness. Life will inevitably figure itself out. You just have to put in the work in front of you to get there, wherever there is, because there always shifts. Number 10 is the most important one. All the things I mentioned between 1 through 9, they take a lot of work, and it takes your entire 20s to grasp all those concepts. While you're making all those shifts, it's so important to take care of yourself. Go to therapy, friends. The stigma against mental health and going to therapy is wild. Not only in the South Asian community, but just in general, just the stigma against it of like, oh, what I'm dealing with isn't severe enough, so I can just journal or I can just write it out. Then you haven't found the right therapist, to be honest, because my therapist is more of a life coach. I'm not saying that to sound like, oh, like I have a life coach. I truly have someone who coaches me through my thoughts and makes me see my perspective through my lens, because so many times we are looking at life through other people's lenses because of how much influence we let other people have on our life and how we perceive things. I may not have crazy things in my life that warrant therapy or what society tells you warrants therapy. There shouldn't be a restriction on therapy. I think everyone deserves therapy because therapy is something that all human beings need. Humans are so complex that if we don't have a sounding board or someone who just gives us objective advice, then we're constantly living in somebody else's approval or disapproval. Therapy just helps you funnel all of those thoughts with no judgment and helps you just grow grow as an individual and helps ultimately all the relationships in your life, helps you figure out the goals in your life, and gives you the level of mental clarity to just live a healthy life. That is taking care of yourself. When I go to therapy, I know that I'm putting my best foot forward into my life so that I know and feel good about my decisions, because ultimately they're my decisions. So throughout my 20s, I feel like I couldn't pursue all of the passions that I wanted because I didn't put myself first. Therapy was a huge step in putting myself first so that I could put my passions first as well. Shout out to therapy because it has truly, I won't say saved my life, it's truly elevated my life. If this has helped you at all in seeing on the other side what therapy can do to someone, I have links down below that are open to your discretion of use. This is not sponsored at all. This is merely just giving you resources. I will link down a top therapist in the SoCal area that I highly recommend, and then also just top 10 resources online via Zoom, like anything that fits your need, a list down below so that you know that you're not alone and that there is help out there for you no matter what your insurance is. Try it out. Invest in yourself, not only monetarily, but just mentally as well. Give yourself the clarity that you deserve. I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram and follow me on YouTube and TikTok and la. I really enjoyed talking about this because I've just had so many revelations and so many thoughts leaving my 20s that I just wanted to share with you. So if you found it helpful at all, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you've learned in your 20s. Let me know what you are learning in your 20s. Let me know what you're excited for in your 30s. Be confident, be radiant, be mentally aware.